In one of the stranger media stories to emerge this week, MSNBC is defending host Joy Reid over a controversial blog post that Reid is said to have written 10 years ago. The network says the blog posts are fake and that Reid's blog was hacked, but not everyone is buying that explanation. Powered by good ratings for her weekend morning show, Joy Reid has emerged as one of MSNBC's more prominent personalities.
What if I told you that the President of the United States was really Fox News host Sean Hannity?
But now MSNBC is dealing with accusations that Reid is homophobic based on recently surfaced comments, purportedly written by Reid 10 years ago on her now-defunct blog.
On her blog at the time, she opposed gay marriage, mocked gay people, and people she thought were gay.
Reid has already apologized for blog postings from 2007, where she mocked then-Florida Governor Charlie Crist as secretly gay and repeatedly called him Miss Charlie. When those surfaced last year, Reid admitted they were insensitive, tone-deaf, and dumb. Now a new batch of posts has surfaced, filled with disparaging comments about gay culture, like describing gay behavior as gross and predatory. Reid says this latest batch is fake, part of an effort to taint my character with false information. So far, MSNBC is standing behind Reid, calling her the victim of an elaborate hacking operation and that the FBI is investigating. But that isn't flying with skeptics, like Eric Wemple of The Washington Post, who says MSNBC's defense of Reid doesn't pass the smell test. I'm not dismissing the idea that somebody's out to get her, that somebody hacked her. It's possible. The problem for Joy Reid is that she's already apologized for saying similar things. And she apologized to then-Governor Charlie Crist in Florida for, calling him Miss Charlie and making fun of the fact that he wasn't outed as gay, but that he was gay. And I just think also that these blog posts are written in a very personal, first-person voice. And a lot of hackers say outrageous, outlandish, just over-the-top kinds of things, that are really startling and that would shock you. This has a very calm tone to it, as if it was written very much in her style.
What I don't really understand, every content management system I have ever worked at, starting with Harris Pagination in Syracuse, New York in the early 90s, has a way where you can see when someone has hit publish. Doesn't matter whether that person's in-house, remote, VPN'd in, hacking in, there's a time and date stamp that shows maybe not what the exact edits and changes were, but when it hit publish. Look it up. They can, even in the archive, is it out of the CMS? Is it completely gone?
Her blog is long gone.
Oh.
We're going strictly by the Internet Archive.
Yeah, the Wayback Machine.
The Wayback Machine, and which is also how you can read the Boston Phoenix, by the way. But unfortunately for Joy Reid, some people have talked to people at the Internet Archive, and anything is possible. You can't rule out the possibility that this stuff has been hacked. But if you follow the technical explanation of this, which I am not technical enough to repeat, it seems extremely unlikely. She just should have apologized and tried to move on.
Said, I don't feel that way anymore.
It's in the same vein as what she apologized for earlier, even if it's a little worse. Just apologize.
We should probably tell viewers that the Internet Archive, which can be kind of hard to understand, or the Wayback Machine, it captures images of pages on the web as they appear. So you can go back and see what did Boston.com look like on January 1st, 2005, and what does Boston.com look like, 2 days ago. And these posts that she claims were hacked and inserted, they were there at the time. Right. So if there was a hack, it had to have occurred when she was writing that blog actively. Right. And there's no indication that she at the time said, wait a minute, someone's taken over my blog and they're posting hateful, horrible things. Yes. That's a huge problem for her. I would urge people to check out this great Daily Beast piece, which took the evidence that allegedly was going to be provided by Joy Reid's data security expert to clear her name, broke down piece by piece what that evidence is, and decided this doesn't really hold up. The Daily Beast is a place where Joy Reid had been publishing a column. Her column is now on hiatus.
One of the things that you see happen with other people before they make it is that they say a lot of crazy things in order to get the attention, in order to make it big. And then once they make it big, these are the kinds of things that come back to haunt them. And you get a feeling that that's what is at play here, that she was, putting out these kinds of racy, edgy content in order to gather that support around her, to build her audience. And now you become big time, and you have to go back and clean it up. And I do agree with you, Dan. If in fact that is what happened, then you need to come clean, and you have to say, look, there are a lot of things that we often do to get attention, and looking back on it now, I realize that was wrong, and I apologize for it.
We should clarify that this was brought to the attention of the public at large by an LGBT group that said, no, wait a second, she's getting a lot of attention, and the show's been very successful. Let's not dismiss this that she said in the past.
Right, and there apparently, and to your point, there have been some security experts out there who've looked at this, and they say, look, there's always that possibility that this could have happened. It could have been hacked, but it's not likely.
There's also some anti-Islamic content that people have dug up, discussion of how Islam and the West or Western civilization are just fundamentally incompatible. So it's not just homophobia, which I think bears noting. I've been a little dismayed in looking at how people are responding to this on social media, that it's shaken out largely on political and identitarian lines. You have Trump fans cheering what's happening with her, and then you have Joy Reid's defender saying, oh, this is Donald Trump supporters and Bernie bros who want to take down a strong woman of color. Easy for me to say as a white guy, I guess, but I think if you didn't know Joy Reid's race or gender, and someone described to you how this has played out, you would conclude that the person is on very shaky ground.
Yeah.